our phone associate, they take the phone, and then when the client asking for anything, they are facing difficulties. Suppose they send the check, and then that check is not going through. Maybe they are calling to that phone associate, and what's going on, and then they are telling the status, like what is the status, like is that valid check, or it may be invalid, or maybe check is going to be rejected because of signature is not matching or address is not matching, something like that. So when they work, and then they do, it's internal work. I can give you the full picture, but I'm saying this is look like if you go through, and then it will give you the proper direction how you need to create, and then after you cancel, what is the pop-up it will be, and then what will happen, yes or no buttons. So all is like that. And then this is the task with the relationship. And then if there is an attachment is like any kinds of document or other things, any document. It could be a PDF file, it could be Excel, or it could be a letter, something like that. So they have a lot of things together. So they are calling together is a case. Under the case, it has a work object. Under the work object, it has a different types of documents like check or other things. So they are doing digitalize, and then they are tracking how long it open, and then when it is closed. So that's perspective. Definitely it is not like a full picture, but the button or the windows or pop-up, whatever is showing how it look like, and then it will be like that. So they have a expand all link is there. So basically it will give you everything. And then after that, if there is any error, or if there is a suspend issues is there, then error will pop up, and then error message is there, it is a notice, and then continue button is there. So those things you need to verify. So in that case, you need to understand better way, like okay, this error message will occur when it is suspend. So suspend is going to be activate. So manually, if anyone suspend it, and then they are expected this message should be pop up, or because it is suspend status. So something like that. So, and even if they want to suspend from where, the same thing from action menu. Previously we saw it action menu to break relationship. Here is click action menu for suspend, and how long, how many days, how many hours or minute, and what is the region. So, and then we do have multiple region for the drop down, and then each and every one you need to put it there, and then make it suspend. And then after that you need to reopen, and then find out the history that is documented or properly or not. Those types of testing we need at our application. And then there is something is optional. You see here, some is mandatory, some is optional. So we need to check, go through, and then when you read, you will understand. Definitely, I just give you, I'm not going through line by line because it is not authored, it is, but I just give you the heads up, like how it look like when you have the documents, and then when you read, you will understand what is the behavior of that application. You see, there is a lot of menus. Description is here. Then action menu, this is activation. So suspend, activation, back relationship, lot of item is there. So it is look like that. It is called business requirement document or functional requirement document. Who wrote down? You already knows, right? Who is responsible for that? Or who make this document for us? Business analyst, right? BA. So he's the responsible, and then he updated it according to if anything change, any logic is changed, or anything modification is happens, and then he according to change that logic, and then based on that developer also work on. So this is the common for developer, and this is common for QA tester as well. Both are following the same. Developer will read this, and then they will develop that application with the layout, and then we are the QA, we also follow the same requirements, and then based on that, how we can determine it is pass or fail based on our document. If it is not defined, you need to speak up. Oh, okay, a business requirement document is not clear. In that case, what we'll do, right? And then last time we also talked to you with Pizza Hut, right? Password field, there is the maximum limit is not there. So you can, in that case, your document, business requirement document is not saying about anything for maximum values, boundary values, and then you can speak about, okay, what is the maximum value for that region. This is one example I'm saying. It could be some other. So this is kinds of application. It is very user friendly, but sometimes functional requirement document I have experience with when I go through, there is too much technical and then I did not get at all. Then what I did, I went to the BA or I went to the team meeting, and then when the getting the KT, and then I got the experience of what is the function that it does. And then more clarity you can, anytime you can ask with your developer too, or your lead or your manager who are working long time before then they join, because mostly when we work they have a senior person everywhere, so we can ask them to get the more information. Need to be proactive. It is not like nobody will ask you, oh, did you finish it, or did you go through everything? Not like that. It is your responsibility to work with, get the clarity before you start testing or before writing the test cases. Every single QA need to be go through those. Otherwise, you cannot write down effective test cases. So this is one thing, and also another important thing is I want to share with you. When you can determine, you can stop testing. So when to stop testing, it is called exit criteria. So a lot of companies, they follow the proper rules, the like SDLC properly. They are writing every document. A lot of places they even don't write properly business requirement document as well. So you will face, depends on which level your company you are working on, but definitely your user story, or user story means I'm talking about the agile level. So when we talk to the agile level, that's mean agile is, every time, anytime requirement document or requirement could be changed. So but when we start, suppose when we start work, suppose we have 100 user story. 100 user story means 100 functionality. So they assign 2 or 3 user story to developer 1, then other 3 is developer 2. If there is a 5 developer, then so on. They are providing that work, because everything they cannot start at a time. So they are starting from one by another, one page to another page, or one functionality to another functionality. And then same thing, when they write, what is the implementation, and then what is the exit criteria or traceability matrix. Traceability matrix and exit criteria, it sounds confusing, but traceability matrix also give you, it is our responsible also to write down the traceability matrix with the according to the test cases, because that test cases which functionality you are testing, that function name you can write down. That is the relation between test cases with the functionality. That is the traceability matrix. And exit criteria is when you are testing that functionality, when it is done, how it is done, how you can write down. So that when they write down, definitely they point out the bullet points. Exit criteria.
May I know? Can you repeat the matrix criteria again?
What?
Matrix.
What is your question?
The matrix, the definition you just explained.
So exit criteria, I'm saying. So exit criteria, it will give you the bullet points, like how many things you need to check based on the user story or based on the task. We can say different terminology you are saying. If we are using Rally, and then they create a user story. And then under the user story, we have a developer and then QA also. And then we create a subtask. And then based on that, when we read, we have an option, exit criteria. Exit criteria give you the all bullet points, what the important functionality is that need to be checked. Suppose like suspend function. So
Like a
suspend
sanitary testing, like the functionality, main functionality for testing.
Can you speak up a little bit? Difficult to hear you because I put my
Like
volume.
when we're testing
Just
sanitary testing,
close by to the microphone.
sanitary testing, when we are testing the main functionality of the application.
Sanity testing is different. This is the part of your testing. I'm not saying about the type of the testing. I'm saying here is the when you can stop the testing. Don't get confused with the sanity or smoke testing. So what is the sanity testing and what is the smoke testing? It is different part, and then we need to understand that when we need to perform. Normally, we do sanity testing. Is the sanity is the subset? You can say a subset of regression. Subset of regression that way. Suppose like new deployment, new build is available today in the morning. Suppose Friday night, yeah, they deploy it, and then Friday night when they deploy it, they are working on the weekend, and when Monday morning we go to the office, and then we do sanity testing. Sanity testing means because suppose the thing that way, I can give you the example. Suppose we have a 200 test cases, and then 150 is regression test cases. So that regression test cases, the Monday morning, it is not possible for all whole team to run down everything because the before Friday you already tested, and then they fix the bug, and then that's why they are deploying. But Monday when you go to the office, then main functionality. Suppose like I can give you the example with the transaction. Suppose you log in and then send some money, and then use your account to two account, and from account to two account you use, and then put that submit, and then transaction is complete, transaction number is populated. That means your transaction functionality is working fine, but you are not going through the individual all or every functionality.
Yeah.
Suppose like what is the login.
Yeah, that I understand.
So that is your smoke testing or sanity testing. What is the smoke? Smoke is particular function, individual function is working or not. It is not like a subset, it is like particular function is working. Suppose like smoke testing is your environment is not available. Suppose QA is down, database connection is working or not. So very quick, undocumented. It is not followed by the test case. That is the test case. But here we are talking about when you are determined, you finish your testing. Suppose we are working on always we give you the example with the login. I don't want to, I hate it. Suppose create account based on last time we did Pizza Hut, right? So create account, what will happen? So what is the exit criteria? Suppose exit criteria is after creation, user should able to log in again, and then existing user should not use email address again for create a new account, right? This is your exit criteria, and then all fields should be working properly as expected, and then required field, user should able to create only the required field, use the required field when they create the account, only for required field when they create the account, and then terms and condition is there, right? Those exit criteria is there, but it is not like they will give you the individual everything. That's mean like how it will perform, how it will work. Suppose when we overall, so exit criteria is the functionality, they will put the bullet point, and then based on that, when you see the exit criteria, and then each and every bullet point you need to separate as a write as scenarios or test cases at least. That is your start with. When you go when you start with your company, and then when you see the exit criteria is pointing out, and then that is going to be your test scenarios at least, or test cases based on your functionality. If you think like, oh, one scenario could have multiple test cases, you can write down. You already know scenario versus test cases has 1:1 or 1:many relationship there, right? So, but point it out, focusing here, what is exit criteria? So exit criteria is the point of when what you need to be checked. It is validation point. It is your checkpoint. suppose it is your checklist or what you need to check for. Suppose you are going for the interview, right? You have a checklist, right? Oh, I have a resume, I have a proper dress, I have a those. You have a checklist every time. You need to follow those. But same thing when you start with your functionality testing, and then that bullet point is properly working or not. It is not like 100% you need to rely on. Maybe some other things you need to test as well. But as at least we cannot go through infinity. At least some point is there, some bullet point is there. If everything is met as expected, that time we can determine our test is done. Another one is sometimes one iteration, second iteration we do, and then we finish it. We are not going through third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and so on. It never will end. It is not like that. So definitely the exit criteria will give you the critical functionality. Critical functionality should work as a working, and then standard wise they do 1, 2, or 3 cycle, or we can say iteration. First iteration, second iteration, and third iteration. Sometimes lot of bugs, first iteration when we do, we miss it, and then we did not find. And the second iteration when we do, and then we find out bugs. Bugs means defect. So the thing is, what is the cycle? Cycle start with the testing, and then we put the report, pass or fail, or a blockage, whatever. If it is a fail, then developer need to fix it, and then after fixing, we need to retest. We testing again, and then after that, if it is retest is passed, then it is done. If it is not passed, then we send back to the developer, and then they are working on again, and then do that. So that way is one cycle is done. So after that, not kind of, it is a agile methodology. Mostly it could be a waterfall as well. It is not like waterfall or agile depends, and it could be testing. When they do, they can waterfall or agile as well, but that depends on, mostly right now the companies, they are using agile. Who are working on the waterfall, mostly it is a big project, or like some project should be agile, some project it is should be waterfall. But mostly in software industry, 70 to 80% they are using agile methodology because it's more popular, and then it has some pros and cons both way. Definitely, suppose like in the hardware, right? Not hardware, like in what we say for suppose you are create a big project like a big building or a bridge. That plan should be defined, requirement, budget, everything should be predefined first, and one step one phase to another phase, it need to be complete. You cannot work with agile when you do the bridge. You cannot do the agile when you create with the building. So or the same like big project. Suppose like Obamacare. Obamacare was the government, was the big project, right? And then 300 to 30 million people are rely on that project. They cannot change their business rules anytime. Definitely, when they start with, they are determined what is the service they will provide, what is the benefit people will get. The rules, everything should be there, right? So depends on like how it is, how your project is running on. Anyhow, and then we do 2-3 cycle. After that, is there any known issue or showstopper? What is the known issue? What does mean by known issue? Known issue means it has a defect. It has defect, but it is minor. Right. Suppose like Pizza Hut. Well, last time we talked about Pizza Hut. What we have, you may raise the defect for email field. The maximum values. What I can give you here, show you here. That you see here the Pizza Hut and Hut. Maybe Pizza Hut should be there. There is another word is showing. Correct. Pizza Hut. So one extra Hut is there. But maybe spelling mistake, right? So but you put the defect, but it is not showing any business problem, because transaction is, everything is working, order is placing there, and then you can create the account, credit card you can use it. Multiple credit card, you can use it. So those main functionality is working fine, but it is a defect. It is a known issue. Or suppose like you are working on your Amex, Discovery, and Visa. MasterCard has some issue. When we use MasterCard, we have some issue, but it is known issue. That time it is not a showstopper, because other customer or other credit card is working fine. So that's mean it is depends on. I'm saying it should not be, but some always any application we cannot say it is a bug free, because when they put on the production, and then after that they put it some new upgrade, right? Every month or quarterly, any software they have an upgrade. What is the upgrade for? Definitely they have some fixes. It was not determined, or it could be determined because they wanted to put it release. They don't want to prevent the release, but they put it on the market, and because it is not harmful that at much for the company. So that's why it is showing known issue. So it could. They already knows, but maybe they already knows it, but they will deploy it. So for the next release, they will work on as a priority wise for fixing, or maybe they might don't have enough budget to working on. They said like, okay, it is working fine that way. It is fine. It's okay. Something like that. So it is depends on the how it is. So when you can say showstopper. Showstopper means you cannot go live. That means it is difficult. Suppose transaction is not working properly. Suppose confirmation number is there, but from your account to account, the amount is not updating on the database issue. Okay, the amount when you go back and log in again, you did not see your amount is got updated. Suppose we have a 5,000, we send it 500 to another account, and then when we log in, we see it, this is still it's pending, but we got it transaction after 1 day, and it should be night job. It should be run the batch file, and then morning time we should see the updated. But when we see still it is pending, some is not working properly. That means it's critical. How long is going to be pending? It should be updated. It should be done. But somehow it is not done yet. So that is showstopper. That time they will decide. It is a whole team meeting will arrange. It is called go or no go, or go or go meeting, or go live or no go meeting. Lot of ways they it's company to company. It is depends how they call this meeting.
This is also a kind of bug or defect.
Definitely it is a bug, and then it is a major issue. And then definitely, suppose they have a short time, and then maybe they are upgrading some functionality, then previous functionality got problem, and then you find out immediately 1 day before, and then that time they will make a arrangement, one immediate meeting, and then they will find out, oh, they should go or not. It is depends on the project manager. If he said, okay, we need to fix, we will wait for 1 day. They will talk to the developer. Okay, how long it takes? What is the criticalities? How long it takes to resolve it? And then if it is negotiable, like 1 day, and then they will put it 1 day behind the deployment. Otherwise, they will put it. Definitely, they will not go through. Or sometimes what happens is on your QA environment, it is working fine, and then when they deploy in production, and then immediately post certification is said, and then post certified maybe business user, or it could be a production. Suppose we have a 5 QA tester, and then 1 tester is responsible for production support. So after deployment, he went to the morning time or the very early morning before 9 o'clock, suppose like 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock morning time, you wake up, because it's he need to test it, because he's responsible, night job is run, and then immediately 7 o'clock he find out, oh, this major functionality is not working, and then he mailed everyone important meeting, and that one is not working, that should be resolved, and then they try to resolve and then deploy it again before 9, and then if they fail, they will back up. Every company has backup plan too that way. So that backup means they will not upgrade. They will not go into the production. The previous version, whatever they had, they put it back. They back up everything. All functionality, they put the backup. They are not deploying any new functionality. So that is their plan. So that is the cycle also. When we do, there is the post certification, or the cycle is there. And then after that, mostly when we stop testing, it is every known bug or major bug is fixed, and then most major critical functionality is working fine. And then we did 2-3 times, and then we did not find any bugs. Suppose one cycle you did, there is a 20 bugs you find out, and then everything they fix it. Then second cycle you run, and then you find out 5. And then third cycle you find 1 bug. It could be some scenarios. And then that time say, okay, go, stop testing and go for the next. Something like that. So hard stop or showstopper, this is the keyword. And that's mean you will heard it a lot of times on your meeting, or what is the hard stopper or what is the showstopper. And then you can say also, sometimes you can say when they are asking what is the defect. Oh, okay, I find out this defect, but I believe this is not a showstopper. We can work around. So that's mean it is not that critical. People can work around that too. Something like that. Okay, and suppose a lot of functionality we have. So think about text field, and then when we write down text field, it is disabled by keyboard, but you can copy paste, right? Suppose you can use your mouse, you can copy, and then when you right click on that field, and then you paste, and then it's showing the field is getting updated. But when you try to you can hear they're complaining. Oh my gosh. Are you guys can hear properly? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think sound okay. I'm hearing.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, somebody said like you can hear. If you can hear, just speak up or text me. I recommended to speak up. That way we know. Everybody knows. So everyone in the same page. So those keyword always you need to face and you need to say showstopper, known issues, and hard stop, and live, go live. So those things always remember. And exit criteria, there is the thing they always say it is well begun is half done. Applies everywhere, even software testing.
Hello,
So,
Russell.
can anyone say something? Hello?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yep, sure. Go ahead.
So once it's deployed, it is done. As we do that testing, suppose weekend, right? So in that time, the tester just go through the main functionality or going through all the requirement?
I can hear properly. Just close by your microphone. I don't know what happens.
I
Sorry
said
for that.
once is deployment done, so then they need to test it, right? Because
when deployment is done, that is production support. They need to verify main functionality is working fine or not. It is not like throw test or regression test before deploying. Suppose if we work on agile methodology, we have a 2 weeks sprint or 3 weeks sprint. That's mean our working time frame. And then developer will work and we're gonna test also. And then during that time, our responsible is that user story, whatever is assigned to me, and the test cases, we need to test and then find out is there known bug or not. After finish, and then they will determine, they will deploy it. And then after deploy or go to the live, and then they have some people, it could be a tester, senior tester, or it could be a production business people. They will go through main functionality is working or everything is looking perfect. It is unofficial, undocumented, but they will do that because of it is like a kind of monkey testing, they would say, or maybe a smoke testing or sanity testing, they could say. Different testing terminology we are saying here, but definitely they do. But it is not like we are waiting for that deployment. If before deployment, our responsibility is to find out there is no bug is there. Otherwise, if they put deployment and then find out the bug, and then definitely director or senior person will speak up why it is not find out in QA. How they test, what is the, it is our responsible to come if the bug is coming after the deployment, because why we could not find out in the QA environment. So there, at that time it will blame to us immediately. So our job is to make it that functionality or known bug is not there, and then it is working as expected. So that's why we are working hard and find out there is no known bug, non issue. Okay.
So can I interrupt? So the deployment means it's ready for production. So whatever testing we have to done before deployment, right?
Correct. So definitely when they are going to the production, that means if there is a, even though there is a bug is there, that is known issue, they are already aware of. Or sometimes if it is not find out in QA, definitely it will be responsible for them, and then they will find out they did not properly test it. So that's why they could not find out. Mostly when they are putting the deployment is they determine there is no showstopper or none or minimize the bugs. That is the ultimate goal, is main functionality is working as expected, and then they are going to the live or go live, and then after that it is working fine. If it is not, definitely production bug will find, and then immediately they will do that. And then another keyword is there, they are saying hot fix or HT. Hot fix is suppose like there is some issues is going on QA is working, you will face it. QA was working fine, but when they put in the production, and then in the production somehow it's not working, even though dev environment was working fine, QA environment was working fine, but somehow when they deploy it, it is not working, and because some batch file is not ran properly, or maybe it is working, but some integration issues is there. So it could be. So that time what happened is they put the hot fix. Hot fix means they already developer already knows this is a minor fixing, and then it will not take, and then after that the night time they will deploy it. Otherwise, sometimes a lot of companies they strictly follow that rules. They said no, whatever it is, we cannot do deployment every night. It should be quarterly, or it should be sprint wise. So it is depends on company to company. If it is not critical, everybody come on the same page, and they said okay, it is fixed. Hot fix could be done at night time, and then after that we do mini regression. Mini regression means we do the sanity testing after deployment and QA as well. And then when QA is working fine, they put it again at the night time or in production. Any question?
Hello, Russell Bhai, I am Shukla speaking. I have one question.
Yeah. Sure, go ahead.
We are using the story. Okay, who create the story? Scrum Master or developer?
No, it's a Scrum Master. Scrum Master is the main person who manages that Scrum. That's why he has a separate role. It could be a VA. Scrum Master could be a VA. Scrum Master could be a separate role for the project, or it could be a manager as well. It is depends on company size, company's volume or budget. But in QA Agile methodology, they said it is a separate role who manage the Scrum. Scrum means who manage the sprint, and then who assign the task or user story for the developer and tester.
Okay.
It is a separate role.
Minimum one production, how many stories requirement? This one, how many stories?
There is no such a way the number I would say. There is no number. Suppose like
approximately 5, 6, 12, or how many stories is required?
Approximately it is 5 to 7. But in QA Agile methodology, they say it is effective team should be good if they have a 7 to 10. If they are putting suppose like 30 people in a one Agile team, then it's going to be huge, because morning time when we have a meeting and then 30 people, if they do 2 minutes, it's going to be 1 hour for the meeting only. And then it is difficult to manage to all tasks and it is going to be mess. So that's why that time they are saying is make it a smaller, smaller group of the team. It is standard to 7 to 10, and then standard is 2 weeks to 3 weeks time frame, not more than,
and then sprint is 2 weeks to 1 month, some sprint, and the standard rules is story is 5 to 7. This is the standard rule. Okay, we started
not 5 to 7. I would say it is the
I understand. Don't worry. Okay, and then we are starting for the story, one story, but our time is done. We didn't finish our the testing, and then we are jumping for the next stories, or what is the rules? Just finish one and then we are going to the next one.
That question you raise, yeah, that is the Agile methodology you are talking about. So how Agile methodology is working, we can tell more details. Agile methodology, how it is work. So let me find Agile methodology. Suppose how it is. How it does. Suppose.
Yeah, we know the Agile methodology. Just my question is one story is not finished, but next stories we are going, or first one is finished and then we go to the second stories.
Yes, for sprint one. Sprint one you can use for you have a 5 developers. Okay. And then each developer get 3 user story. And then how many user story it will go on per sprint?
15.
So per sprint. So it's been going to be 50 user story, correct? 50 user story is going to be. So suppose for when they start, they have a 200 user story. And then one sprint is going to be 15. But I'm saying it average. I'm saying here. Suppose it is not like the 15 is going to be the real picture. Real picture could be 13 as well, or maybe 12. Then you can say how, because suppose it is depends on the user story point. That is the main goal. User story point. What is the user story? Guys, listen. Excuse me. Just listen.
Oh, hello.
Sorry. I just hear some noise. So suppose user story point. Story point is, what is the story point? Very important. Story point. What is the story point? Story point is 6.5 hours work is one story point. Okay.
Yes. 6 hours is one story point. Yes.
So
6 hours or 4 hours depends on how they are divided.
Not 4 hours. So who said 4 hours? You cannot create by yourself 4 hours.
6.5 no. That's what I'm asking. And then only for 6 hours is standard. 6 hours is standard, or 8 hours?
No, 8 hours is your business work, right? Business hours.
Yeah. Yes.
So your business hour is business 8 hours. Then you have a break time. You have a meeting time, Scrum meeting for half an hour to 40 minutes.
Maybe 1 hour is gone. More.
Yes, daily sprint meeting. A stand-up meeting is daily for Agile, every day. It could be a multiple. Suppose I have, I'm working on 2 projects. One project they are doing Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock. And another project they do 3 days a week at 1:30. So it depends on. And sometimes they are sprint meeting, they do at 4 o'clock. Before that, it depends on.
Giving the work, will they tell us like how many weeks we have to complete?
Every week they are not changing. It is depends on the practice. Suppose like some company they are follow for 2 weeks sprint standard. Some company they use 3 weeks. Mostly 2 to 3 weeks.
Extend it?
No, it will not going to be extended because if they could not able to complete whatever the Shukla they're saying. I'm coming to the question as well. So the thing is, suppose like 3 user history and then 15 user history is there, or 14 or 13, whatever. I will explain. But after that, maybe all developer is not in the same page. Some user history is big. They could not able to complete, but 70% or 80% they completed. So in that case,
work is not done completely,
that time what they do, they put it as a complete but create the another continue.
Oh, so we will continue.
Yeah.
Rasan
bhai, maybe 5 people are working. They are divided for that hour also. Maybe per day is 40 to 5 people is there involving. Like that. This way is the story started.
No, it's I'm explain to you is how it is work. Suppose like always remember 6 to 6.5 hours is one story point. Suppose if you are responsible to create your own story, it depends on how big it is. Suppose regression test if you do, and then if you put it one user story, definitely part 6.5 hours you could not able to complete. So you need at least 5 days. Right?
Yes.
So you need a
5 into
you create a user story and then you put 5 points. Because don't you if always determine if you need 10 hours, put 2 points. If you need 8 hours, put 2 points.
So initially before going to work, we have to choose like how many points.
Mostly if you are I'm saying why this is important. Sometimes you are responsible to put your create user story and then put the points. Sometimes Scrum Master they assign to you. You don't need to every
more time we are putting more points.
More points, yes. Okay. And then based on that, the user is to really assign, because we already knows everybody has a per sprint. Suppose they do have we are talking about the 6 standard 6 for per week. Then 2 weeks sprint, maybe we can not done more than 12 story points. So one point is for regression 5 points. So you have a remaining 7 points. The 7 points, another one is for creating a test cases, maybe for 4 points. You have a remaining 3 points. So 3 points you are doing some other stuff. So same way the developer also, one user history is for 8 points. Another user history for 4 points. And then he's done for 12 points. And then after that, if Scrum Master assigned to him a small task, even though 1 point, he could not able to do that because it is already passed by, is going to be red because he need to work more than 100%, 115% or 20%. Nobody wants. Suppose like another user history is everyone is 3 points. That means that that guy is getting less work, even though he has a more user history, but he has a less work because his work is 9 user history. Right? So that time he can take that guy's one.
Okay, before doing work, we have to think like how many days it is going to take, and we need
how
to
many points is there? How many hour they don't count? They are count the points in this sprint. That's why, and how the point is splitting the 6.5 you can multiply. So and then you can normally you can say 1 story point for per day.
Okay, and then everyone knows in the QA team or developer, everyone knows that this project is how many sprint is working and then which sprint is working. Everyone knows.
Definitely, because you are working as a team, right? Team should know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. As a tester, we are writing for the test per day, and then we are facing some defect, bug like that. Okay, we know everything. And then how many people we are informed as a manager or Scrum Master or Agile or BA, and then we are send the email and then CC who is the main person, and then how many people is CC in the email.
It is depends on your team member. It is not like a It is not like the answer I can give
No,
you
no,
the
no. What is the standard rule? And then what is the main person? This is the project manager. We are informed for the project manager, or
So your question is when you find out the defect.
not
So,
only for defect, not only for defect, and then we are testing for the per days. Maybe we write down the 20 cases. Okay.
so
20
you are
cases.
saying daily status report, right?
Yes.
So
And then how?
daily status report is going to be your team, or
Okay.
suppose a team you can CC, or definitely you will CC your whole team, and you can definitely for your Scrum Master or project manager and QA lead, you can put as a who is the main person. Suppose like on your QA team you have a manager, you can put him,
And
and
the business analyst also informed and developer also involved, or no?
So we
sprint
can
meeting.
discuss any issues or something in that meeting, right?
Definitely. So the main question is always we need to be prepared for each and every meeting, every sprint meeting.
Yes.
Main question is what you did yesterday.
Yeah.
What you have planned to do today. Okay. That is the common question. If you have a self preparation, this answer that you need to tell to your team what you did, what you have a plan to do. Is there any blockers? Is there any issues for testing, or is there any test bed is related, or any issues you facing? Then you can encounter, or you can talk to your directly your developer. Hey, developer one, you have a question because he's working on that function, and then you can ask your developer, hey, maybe developer one, his name is Nick. Hey Nick, I have one question for you. So, okay, when I test this, and then I test it, but somehow that functionality is not working. Why? Is that data issue or something else? He will say, oh, send me email, or send me screenshot, or send me this. We will talk to offline, or we'll talk to after Scrum. Maybe because we don't want to hold to everyone, because they want to one-to-one. But everybody acknowledge you are facing some, but he don't want to explain everything at a time. The same don't want to hold other people. That time it could be happen. So it is like a teamwork, and then you go, and then you can tell them what is issues is there. Okay.
Rachel, I'd like to ask one question. So for one application, suppose in one application, so for a BA person can write like more than user stories, right? So if the application is big, so as per the application, we can write the user stories. As you said, the
mostly user story, we are not writing a user story, we are creating the task. We are creating task under the user story. User story, always remember, suppose like user story is okay, build up transaction functionality, or build up create account functionality for the pizza.
How many that I'm saying, that I'm asking that the user story should be might be much, like depend on the application. So we can as I'm saying, as a BA perspective, as a BA can write like as per the application need, as per the application they can write as much as needed the user stories, right?
Yes, he's the responsible, and then if any functional any requirement got changed, he or she will update, or BA person will update that business requirement document, and based on that they will change the user story as well.
But you were saying that the user stories, one user stories will take 1.6 1 point something hours. That I didn't get it. Like for one user story.
Okay, so you don't get it. I'll go
the one for one user stories.
Suppose one user story. Okay, one thing. One user story. How we can say here? Suppose on the page in Pizza Hut, right? That is create account. Create account page has lot of function, and then
this is one
create
user
account
story.
button. Yeah, and then that is the one user history. And then another one is for sign in. When we click, and this is the sign in button. So one developer, he's working for sign in functionality. Another developer, he's working for create account. But do you think both are equal effort?
No, no, of course not.
Which one is more? Which one is more?
Which one is the more, the signing or signing login or create account? Which one is the more? You're asking? I mean,
no, it's going to be create account is going to be more functionality, right? Because there is bunch of field is there. So suppose this one, when they assign to the developer, maybe they put it for this one for 5 points or maybe 8 points. Create account for 8 points, and login functionality they might put for 3 points or 2 points or 3 points, right? So 3 points and 8 points. And then that will determine how many you are overloaded or you are in the range, because we know our sprint could be on 12 points, so not more than that. And then if anyone is working on that, and then they will determine. So that way, like when they create a user history, they discuss with the developer. It is not like his own decision.
No.
PA also working with the developer, with the team, and then ask, okay, I have a user history this, how much user history point we need to put it there. Okay. He or she might say, okay, this is 5 points. Developer said, no, that one is going to be more, I believe, put it 8. They will put it 8. But if they say, no, that one put it as a 10, they said, oh, why it is too much?
Depend on the application, depend on the application, the BA can write as a
and then application
steps.
Criticality,
as
exactly.
required, the BA can write the steps as required.
You are clear about the user history now?
No, I'm clear about this, but I was confused when.
Suppose same thing as a tester, our main goal is for suppose like we need to do the regression. If you put regression user history for 3 points, and then within a 3 days you might not complete, and then that time it is not good to put it, because when they assign, you can put it, hey, I have a regression like 100 test cases, so I could not able to complete within a 3 days. Please increase. Then they will say, okay, how much you want? Okay, I need 5 is fine. Then 5 is fine. After that, after 5, and then you could not able to complete. What will happen?
How much?
Because in the sprint, it is not like test it again means definitely they will. If you are 5 people is there, everybody complete, and then you are not completed.
So it will go to backlog?
No, it's going to be it's going to be backlog. That means it is your bad credit too, because you could not able to complete.
Okay.
Why? They will ask why you could not complete, because they will not give you the task before.
It is
first day is a sprint meeting. The sprint meeting, during that time, they will assign that task for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then you need to complete.
We have 2 weeks, right?
It depends on, I told you, like it is not a standard 2 to 4 weeks, but it is depends on your company how they follow.
Okay.
I'm saying my perspective is 2, and another one maybe they follow 3.
Okay.
It is not like I'm saying 2 and then you got 3, and then Russell is saying 2, I'm getting 3. He's bullshit. Not like that. It is not like that standard. It is company to company size, company how they want. Depends on. Okay, but user history you need to. It is important for that. Okay, and where we talk about the exit criteria, right? And then when we can stop. So I must say we are working again and again when we can say when it enough for testing. So this is the initial is testing team receive requirements, right? Testing team start planning and design. Initialize the testing documents ready to review, and then testing run 1 cycle. They execute and receive the development production. During the testing phase, execute various scenarios. Okay, and then find the defects. And then after that, the defects, high or medium or low, developer will work on, and then defect fix, and then they do the retest, and then execute the regression, and then seems like most severity, high priority defect is resolved, phase 1. And then they do the second phase. Second phase is medium priority is there, the development, and then in the time you will run the same tests. Again, the repeating. So this is iteration, second iteration. And then you find out it is depends on, sometimes mostly company follow 2, someone I never saw seen more than 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maximum is 3.
Maximum is 3. Yeah. So and then this is the this is the flow chart we can follow. So they start, execute scenario, defect found, and if it is a defect they retest it, and regression they do, and then if all defects found, and then when all defects found, and then everything is done, and then we stop.
Backlog?
Not backlog. Suppose like suppose there is a major defect they found, and then they are not able to fix this within a time, and then that time they put the user story, that functionality they will drop it for production deployment, because they know, suppose like they're working on 10 functionality, one is critical, that is more defect, but they need more time, but they will not waiting for 9 functionality to deploy it. They put it back for one functionality. They will say, okay, we had a plan for deployment 10 functionality.
Production team will be deploying that?
Production team is it depends on the company to company. They have a, sometimes they have a separate team, sometimes developer team also involved.
Okay.
Same team they involved for the production. It depends on this company size. They might have different or same. So until it is not like a infinity way, we can say. You have a clear picture right now, right? When you can stop testing, it is a conversational round, like it is discussion with the team how they want, and then suppose like everything is working fine, working as expected, and then on maybe on the last day or last 2 days on the sprint you don't have anything, because all known issues is fixed, everything is there, and then everything is done, just chill and then gossiping, that's it, done. Yes, sometimes happens. So I would say, suppose like what will happen is you are going to the work, and then the morning time you see QA environment is down, and then after 1 o'clock it came. So before 9 to 1, what you did? You do something, right? They knows already, so you cannot test even. So you, everything is prepared, but you could not complete. So how will happen? Your summary report will be affected. You can mention it, and the next day when you go to the sprint, you can say also, hey, I had a plan to run all this functionality, but I was not able to do that because I did it half, because half day was environment issues. So something like that, and then definitely you are working on, you put it more, and then always remember, when you estimate, always estimate 130%, not like actual 100%. Take 30% more. If user story actually takes 10 hours, make it 13 hours.
Okay.
That is the goal. That's the things. That way is better, because you have sometimes you need to retest, sometimes you need to go somewhere, like you need to don't put it as a tight. And then you cannot, you commit something you could not able to deliver. That is not a good sign. Okay. Speak up before. Okay. And those the things. And then, and this is the time, depending on the time, and then budget also, right? When it is, suppose like I would say 2 or 3, maybe they are doing 1 because they don't have a budget. They are doing 1 round only, and then they stop it. Oh, okay, whatever is fine, covered.
Based on the budget?
Definitely budget, because they are, when you are going to that project, they are giving you 6-month project or 1 year, and then a project management, they are putting how many testers there, how many people are there.
They'll stop testing and all?
Not like that. Is sometimes they're firing someone.
Okay.
To reduce that budget. Suppose now what will happen is, in the Dunkin' Donut, when it is busy, they have 5 people. When they are slow, hey, go over there. But in the real time, real experience. So when working at the company, they will not tell you, oh, now it's slow, go down, go at home. Not like that, right?
Yeah.
So what will happen if they don't need it? They fire someone. Then put like 4 or 5 people work to some other.
Okay.
Something like
they
that.
will assign to some other.
Yeah, but definitely they normally they don't do that because it is before you start they have a budget and then they know how many people they need. It is all are involved, architect and then project planner, all are involved together. So and then always when we can say stop, when we can stop, main thing is 100% requirement coverage. This is the main goal. 100% requirement is done. And then defect is defined or desired, count is reached, and then all showstopper defect or block or fix, no non-critical or severity, one defect is open. There is no defect is there, and then all high priority defect is fixed.
One defect is open.
Severity and priority. Severity, you know, right?
Yes.
The severity is the how critical it is, right? We last time we already told you what is the severity, what is the priority. This is the severity and priority is there. All defect always depends on the severity and priority, how severity it is. Suppose I told you there is what is called, there's a Pizza Hut, right? The heart is there, right? This is severity is very low because it's not critical. And suppose like you are clicking join account, join link, and the link is broken. That is definitely high priority. Nobody will go access create account unless they are entering the exact URL, right? They can bypass it, but it is critical, right? So it depends on the company to companies which state you are working in. What is the severity, what is priority? There is another lecture we already spoke. And then and then high priority is sometimes is it is not severity. Severity is always critical, how affecting the functionality with the business. That is the severity. And priority is also how that better way to have it. Suppose like logo is not there, definitely it's high priority. Or maybe a date format, you put it, there's a 2 digit is not working, 4 digit is working. That is priority is maybe medium or low, because some other way we can work around. So that it is, but it is not affecting. You can create account. If you are not creating account or you are not able to entering anything, or suppose like they're saying you need to be must 21 years older, and then you put it 20, and then it is taking. That is severity high, right? Because you are able to enter, and then priority also high, severity also high. It is depends on the 7 priorities both. And then test coverage is 90%. Suppose sometimes we are not always, when we do the test report, we are not sure like it should be 100% pass. We should have some fail, some percent. But how they determine if they achieve 95% or above? If it is 95% achieved, that is also they can stop the testing too. They cannot do for 1%, one defect for again retest.
Yeah.
It is because time consuming. Yeah.
If we are like checking anything, then we are putting the this is pass, but we are mistakenly put it this is fail. What will happen?
On the definitely somebody will be behind work with you, right? The reporting manager is there. Then they will ask you why is this fail. What is the definitely you put the description, you put the screenshot. And then if it is a mistake, you can say, oh, okay, it's a human error. When I updated, somehow that field got updated with the fail or pass. It was mistake. It could be happen. It is not like they will fire you for that. Okay. And then always we have a formula. So we'll coverage, we'll go through, we'll tell you what is the coverage, what is the quality and coverage. We'll talk. I will tell you shortly. And then complete functionality, those are things all are working like that. Then we can determine, okay, Azure functionality when work, we can stop. We come to the conclusion. We'll give you, I'm not going through the line by line, just to give you the heads up. Oh, okay, because otherwise it's again another one. No. Test case is not conclusion. I'm saying like it is a, you need to read line by line and then you will understand what I'm saying. Now I already overall I will tell you what is the exit criteria.
Completely agile methodology, right?
Yeah, it's agile
Or
methodology.
we will be using only agile methodology.
No, it is not like agile. Maybe your first project when you got, they are following waterfall. You are going through the waterfall. Waterfall is we have a SDLC, right? One phase to another phase, you cannot change.
It is a long process.
Mostly big project they do.
Okay.
Agile methodology.
Still they are doing what?
Yeah, it's still they are doing it. There's a lot of government, especially government job or army project, sub project. They have a lot of IT they need, and then definitely they are doing waterfall. They're not going to Agile. They do. Especially who has a working experience on Maryland, DC, Virginia, they have a lot of project for government, and then they need to green card, work on that project. So anyhow, let me check with you, share with one thing. Okay. This is the defect report. So suppose this is the sample of defect report. So maybe I would say they are using most company, they use defect management tools like a Bugzilla or JIRA. Confluence JIRA, and they use Rally as well, and also they use ALM. QC, previously it was well known as QC, Quality Center. Now HP, Hewlett Packard, they bought it from Mercury. HP ALM also. Those are defect management and project management tools. So they why they are using, because the reason is everybody aware of how many defects is raised for the project management also, and then developer also interact, and then developer they put it there, and then they assign to tester assigned to the developer. So here and there, if we use Excel sheet, then we need to put everything in Excel sheet, attached to the Excel sheet, and then they will pull up, and then it is difficult to manage. So that's why they use also software. But also a lot of company they use parallelly both. Defect management is there, also they put all defect in the Excel sheet because it is easy to maintain. Maintain means they already knows how many defect is there and what is the status in a one shot, in a one page. They can, but even though they have same defect on Rally or Agile or QC, whatever they are using that software, and it is not difficult for you. It is UI, and you need to follow. Somewhere they need to. I believe I had one. Let me check with that. Yeah, they do have. Let me check with. I think I do have one. Okay, give me one second. No, JIRA. I believe I had, but somehow I'll follow JIRA when it is just. Somehow it is not here. So anyhow, I'll show you. But in the meantime, go ahead. Defect list. So defect list. This is the template. Suppose defect number is there, open date and close date. They put it here. Is the open date is there. The close date is when it is fixed. When it is passed, you put as a close date. You put the status pass and then put the date, because management want it, how long it takes, and then when it is pass or fail, and then how long it takes at that time. It is for their perspective. It is required field. So maybe you are responsible for your own defect you test, and then when it is passed, you open that Excel sheet from your shared drive, and then you update it. And then every day morning time, manager will open it. They will get the report, or maybe by 4 you update that, and then by 4:30 your manager will open it. He will put that use this list for their high management, maybe for that director or a senior manager. He need to also add that report, how many failed today, how many defect is there, what is the defect is there. So they need to talk about the project too. It is not like you and me or developer is involved. Everybody is getting involved too when you put the defect. So that's why when you write down the defect, always be cautious. As much as properly write down the description, because it will review by higher management. So always spell checking, and then put the proper sentence, and then put steps properly, or a screenshot. Make the screenshot as well. So here we have a description, and then environment. It is I'm not saying it is required environment. It is environment depends upon you. Suppose if you are using multiple environment, mobile or multiple platforms, suppose Mac, mobile, Android, or Windows, multiple Windows, that time you can assign which environment you use. Maybe you are responsible for all. Suppose like there is a same functionality you are using on Android, and then it is not working. Transaction is not happens because it's not responsive is there when you click submit, and then you can put it there. Oh, it is only for Android, but iOS is working fine. Something like that is if it is environmental issue. And then app owner, if you are working on app, you don't need to. Our company, they are using multiple apps, so that's why this is the keyword of the application, and then they use it. Don't worry. And then verified for view station. You don't need to. This is our internal application, old legacy application. Don't worry about this column, but mostly you need to put it open, ID number, open and date close, description and environment, and then reported by who is reported, because you have a five people.
I have a question. So when I as a manual tester, the way the QA assign the defect to assignee, and for automation tester, if any automation tester, if we get any defect, the same process should we follow for write the defect?
So
if I'm talking about ALM.
For automation assigned, maybe automation team. If you are because automation mostly they are writing the test cases automation for regression set, not for the regular test cases. Because
manual tester.
The regular tester means I'm saying the QA automation tester, they write down the test auto script for regression set.
No, I'm saying now if I find any defect during the QA, I mean during the testing, if I find
automation, right? On automation.
Yeah, I'm saying the automation. Yeah, I'm saying about
the automation phase. Tell me first one thing. Automation phase. If you find out the automation defect,
yes.
Do you think it is a new defect or it is going to be regression defect?
Yeah, if it is like new, if it is the regression, so the way we should follow.
New is very rare, new defect, because mostly it is not like you could not find out manually. They find out automation find out defect, and manual could not find out.
So how will I assign the defect to assignee? Like the same way
assign is always your development team or
development team. Should I follow the same process? Like
yes.
The way, the steps, I'm talking of the steps. Same process I assign for manually to developers, in same way the step I follow in the ALM.
Sometimes as a tester, you are not responsible to assign someone. First of all, because you are tester.
If I find the defect, so I should.
You put as a report, reported by. You would put as a name, and assigned to is going to be empty. Status is going to be open, and then state is going to be new, and then severity depends on high, medium, low, and then you put it as a comments for what is the issue. After that, your manager will open this. Open as a new or open status. Let's see, he make it for, suppose here from formulas. Sorry, not is from
no.
filtering.
If the company
When they do, just listen. Wait,
okay.
1 second. When they filter and then they put it, oh, okay, I wanted to check it, how many defect is open. Okay, that is how many I have is 4 is here, and then 1 is high, 2 is medium, and 1 is low.
Okay.
And then after that he got it this result, but not assigned to. And then he put it, he knows which functionality, what is the defect is used for, and then he put it the assigned to the developer, particular developer who is need to work on, because he can put 1 developer for all or 2 developer for all, and other people are not working. Maybe one is busy right now to developing, and another one has less work, and then he might forward to another one as assigned to. It is depends on. This is, you don't need to worry about who need to assign and what is the automation is going to be. If it is the automation, the team is going to be involved, and then they will know. Yeah, they will know like is that environment issue or is that real issue, because definitely they will know if it is a automation defect, why they could find out in manual, or maybe a manual has the same, or maybe sometimes a lot of defect is there. Suppose environment is down, and then they ran is 50 test cases and all are failed, and then that time they will not assign to each and everyone. They already knows that 50 test cases failed because 1 is failed, and then rest of this they did not run again because site was down. Sorry, site was down.
I had one question.
Yep.
Hello, Rachel. I understand maybe Parveen's question because she's talking about manual testing part is different because we are easily knows which one is the pass, which one is the fail, and then which one is the defect. Okay, but automation is not easy like that this way. Automation is complicated because we are using as like a Selenium WebDriver. We are using commander driver.findElement by.id.name. Just we select the element and then put to the field variable and then .send key or like that. Okay, but I don't know what is the defect, what is the actual field is filled out, and then what is the defect. How do we find the automation field? Because manual is easy, and then how do we find this one is the defect?
First of all, as a automation tester, when you create your framework, definitely on your framework it has a reporting or not. It has a part of reporting, right? Suppose if you are
after no wait, after we write down the script, okay, framework, we are using that as like a page object model. Okay, we are writing for the page object model or data driven. Okay, we write down the field and variable we call, and then project is running, and then our reporting tools is a test ng. Depends on which one you using, either Maven or the JUnit. And the reporting times
is reporting.
Wait. Just example.
Maven is not reporting. Maven is defined.
Maven is a build tool. Okay, wait. Test ng and JUnit is the reporting tools. Okay, and then we are running for the test script. That time they are showing.
Can you ask the exact question? You don't need to explain how it is. What is that? You already know.
How do I find the defect for that?
Don't need to explain. If you are explaining like that, it's going to be an hour and hour. Just ask your exact question.
How do I will find the defect for the automation? How do I find the defect for the automation?
How you find out the defect for the automation? When it is failed, right? When it is failed, it is a defect. So you have a report or not? You have a, when you create a automation script, it is not like you are running and then you get some status, and then that will make you a report. It could be a XML or it could be a Excel sheet, or it could be a HTML format, or it could be a plain right? You already know. So we can create lot of things in TestNG or maybe unit or some other things. Which you are used. But the question is, It is not like a, it is question was firstly raised, what you need to assign, whom need to assign. It is not the question is how you find the defect. That is question, you already know the answer. What is the defect? Defect means for auto script when it is failed, that is defect. Definitely why it is failing, this is a defect. It could be then you can determine that is an environment issue, or it could be a real defect. If it is a real defect, definitely it is a your report is good enough to point out, because when you write down the method, when you write down the test cases, and then based on the automation, you have a automation is not like a you don't have documentation for manual test cases, they make it automation. So this number is there, and then when it is fail, definitely or on your automation report will fail, or which test case will fail. Okay, I have a test case PH 009, and then that is failed. That is what it does. Oh, okay.
PH 009 means this one is the manual. Okay.
Describe.
PH009 means this code is manual, but I didn't use this code for the automation, because automation I used only for variable field.
To find out when you write down the test cases, how you find out if I say, okay, you are automation tester, I have a manual tester too, I am a manager, and then I gave you the assignment to make it automation. And then you start write down the test cases, and then when you tell me, okay, my automation script is done, how? If you don't have that number.
Rachel, just I like to ask one thing. In LM, if I know the assigned application, who is the responsible for the application? So and if it is in the
automation
in the ALM system,
sometimes I would say let's start. This is
let me Rachel, I'm not finished yet.
Manually you are writing the defect, right?
I'm not finished yet. Yeah, I'm not finished yet. I'm just sharing that the as a QA manual tester, and I know the who is the responsible for that application for BA. BA. So I have the name in my ALM, right? The person name. So for the specifically application. So in ALM, in that case, normally we assign that defect to specifically a business analyst or someone else, who is the mention in the ALM system. So my question is, if anything arises like automation defect, so and I know who is the responsible assignee for the specific application. So the same way should I follow, like for automation, or for automation defect, the different process like assignee?
First of all, I would say as a tester, your manual tester or automation tester, it doesn't matter. Assigned to is depends on your manager, QA manager, or your business analyst, or your Scrum Master, whatever.
That I know if I inform,
time to find out and then make it argues for unnecessary wasting time to who is going to be. But picture is, it is main thing is it is assigned to the developer. Who will does? Maybe manager, maybe QA, maybe Scrum Master. But this is manual and automation. Automation are same, but for automation team is defined than manual team, right? So automation, when automation defect is raised, definitely the developer should work. Maybe developer is the same for manual defect or automation defect. Developer need to work with to fix those defects. They need to assign. Who are assigning, it doesn't matter. But the fact is here, it is depends on assigned to is the functionality, or this is the privilege for higher senior person. It is not for us. We don't need to make it argue here and then find out. Our responsibility is
I'm not arguing, just asking the process.
And then they are responsible. it is, I'm not saying for one project. If I say it is a unit, always need to be involved manager, not like that. Manager, maybe what will happen is,
I have another question.
One second. Let me finish. Another example I can say, maybe our team is, I work 15 QA team member in a team. And then when I assigned, I just put it nothing. When I have a defect, I put it to forward to my manager, QA manager only, nothing else. I don't know what he did. After that, what he did, he assigned to developer manager. And then developer manager, when they got the defect, developer manager knows how many developer under his and what is the work they do, and then which functionality working whom and who. And then he put it that that defect to test it and then fix it. So in that case, do I know? Do I responsible? No, because it's the team. Maybe my team is 5 or 6. Maybe I can interact with that directly to my project manager. No, I don't have QA manager. I don't have a developer manager because my team is small. That case scenario is different. But automation tester, if you say, or a manual, both has a report. Manual tester, they write down Excel sheet, they put it here, and then how many defect is raised, or open or close. The same way, same report, automation team they have. They can use it Excel, they can use it HTML format or Word format. But ultimate goal is when they run, definitely they have a report. Every automation has, it doesn't matter how many test cases they run, they have a report. And based on that, they have a report for how many pass, how many fail. And then if it is a pass or fail, based on that, they raise a defect too. Sometimes 5 defects for automation for the same reason. And then they put it manually. Oh, okay. They write down as a defect in what is called report is there, but project management tool, suppose Bugzilla or JIRA or Rally or ALM, it is not integrated. So and then that person or maybe the QA manager, based on that report, they manually create the defect and put the screenshot. Or maybe they're not creating anything, they just forward to that report to that developer team, and then they follow that report. They don't need to. It is both way it could be, because we don't know how company and project run. You got it? Any question?
Hello, Russell bhai, you are a practical person. Just I face one question. And then as a tester, you carry the 2 rules. One is manual, and then at the same time an automation. Okay, first we write down the script for the Excel sheet for manual. Okay, and then functional, regression, and defect, everything. And at the same time, we write down the automation script also. Okay, and then manual script reporting and automation script reporting, you are facing in your practical life any problem, or both of them is similar, or either manual script is show up that this field is defect, but automation field is show up this one is the pass. You are facing some like that, this type of reporting is different.
I would say, suppose in our company we have a
because one person you are carrying both role, automation and manual. Yeah.
So we have automation team is separate, and then they are quarterly they run their regression test always, and then they have a daily report, and then every day if there is any pass or fail, what is the status is there, the report is there, they email to the team.
No, not for my question. I know. No, you do same application, okay? Because as like a username, and then manual script you write down that time username is pass, okay? But automation you are writing for the scripting for username. That time this field is showing for the error, and then the report is defined, and the manual script show this field is pass, but automation field show this field is fail. How do you, but you knows because you at the same time carry for the both field.
I got it. First of all, just do one thing.
How do we are solving this?
First of all, always remember, you are when you are working at the company anywhere, the regression or automation test suite or automation test is different than manual test.
Yes.
Because different means that set the number of test cases. Suppose for automation they have a 50 test cases. Definitely you are not doing the same test cases manual as well. Then what is the benefit of running the automation? If you are doing manual again the same set, same regression, so it is not the ultimate goal for the automation. Automation is, suppose we have a 200 test cases and 50 regression test cases, they start writing the script, and that is the part of the automation. Now we are not considered to run those test cases as a manual, because
that's it. They are divided. They are divided. Huh?
Then what is the point of you are doing redundancy work, right? Though, and then they're paying for the same run manual and automation. Company spending money, right, from automation.
Yes, lots of money and manpower involvement. Yeah.
Not like that. It is not like that. You are saying, oh, automation, they find out. Maybe it could be some reason, some part. Suppose like end-to-end. Mostly automation, they do end-to-end test cases. So suppose end-to-end test cases, it got failed somewhere. But in that manual testing process, it could not find. Maybe some environment issue or something like that. It is not like that. Same test case, it got failed manually, and then automation pass, or automation pass, or manual fail. Because the ultimate goal is whatever the test set we have already, test from the test suite, we have separate. If it this is considered for automation, we are not running. This is not new functionality. Mostly manually they do new functionality. Old functionality they are not running because it's part of the automation.
Okay, therefore divided. Thank you, Russell.
Reporting pass is totally different. Reporting pass.
I know reporting part is totally different. Yes.
They report it. They can integrate on ALM, and then they put as defect as well. They can write down the script like that way. They can integrate on the Rally. They can integrate with the ALM. They need a plugins. They need a API keys to integrate with. They can run the.
They're using the building tools and Janskin and integration.
Yes. Yep. And this depends on.
Thank you. And then they're divided, and the 50% doing for the manual and 50% doing for the automation.
It's not 50%.
Just for example, maybe 20 or 80, like that. They are did.
Depends on. Sometimes a lot of company, you know, the Rahat, right? Rahat is working from last month, and then he just joined, and then he's the automation tester, and then on his team he's the automation tester only one, and then there is another 4 or 3 or 4 colleagues, they are doing manual testing. So 1:2, 4:1 or 3:1, right? It depends on a team member, how many people they want. Okay, so let's get started, and then this is the report, and then a daily basis we need to put it, and then when we have any defect, write down proper description, and then what steps it occurred, and then when you find out, and then always remember put the screenshot. So a screenshot is.
Are you gonna share this report Excel sheet with us?
Sorry.
Are you gonna share that report Excel sheet that you have sharing with us?
So this is also my this is also one kind of defect list I do have, and and then we have a separate tab. One is for writing the template, another tab I use for screenshot, and then we use mostly, this is for recording purpose, like on what is called Excel sheet. You can put it on Microsoft Word, or you can put it screenshot on your defect management tools. Suppose like what is called Rally or ASM or SDM, whatever.
Rochelle, yes, I'm asking that Excel sheet that you're showing to us. Are you going to share that Excel sheet to us? I mean, are you gonna attach that Excel sheet to us after the class?
Yes.
Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Yep. I do. Definitely, this will give you, and then after that, you will see, and then how definitely description you will not understand because of the application you did not run. But this is the template you can also follow, or you can use it for your next project when you get it, and then that is also good things. And then definitely, I would say we also showed you how to write down those. Report, right? And then this is the filtering. Always remember, you can filter also this. You can write, you can use it as a filtering, medium, high, or whatever they use. So always remember, when you want to filter, select the first column and then click on filter, and then after clicking, you will see that drop down, and then based on that you can also do it by open or close. Okay, I want to check it, which one is assigned to me. Maybe they assign to for retest. They're saying okay, in waiting for retest, and then that time which test case, or sorry, which defect, you get the name, and then you working on, and then you after that you update the report and then save it. Done.
Investigating, I think this is the one, right? State.
Investigating is suppose this is open, suppose intermittent issue. Intermittent issues.
So will they leave that like that, or?
Investigating the developer there is status, not for us. When we use it as a new. We put as a fail, or we put it as a pass, right? But other status, suppose like a retest or waiting retest. Waiting retest or investigating, that is developer status. Okay. They put that status.
Non-issue, we are using that.
Non-issue, suppose like you put as a defect, and then somehow they find out that time database server was down. Okay, and then you put the defect, and then when they test it on on development environment, they find out it's working fine. Okay. And then because database and QA database is down. It was down that time, and then that time they put it. You put already defect. They are not deleting. They put everything is there, whatever you write. So that's why they put it. Okay, this is not issue. This is non-issue. Okay, or maybe something other. I'm not saying not even environment issue. Maybe you're putting something, but you are not clear about, or business requirement document they did not mention it that because developer always. You are pointing to find out their problem, but they are working with the business requirement document. Business requirement document did not clear, and then that time they said, "Oh, this is not an issue," even though it is a defect, but this is not issue because why? Because business requirement document not clear. They because they want to clear like, oh, this is not a defect, this is non-issue. Because if it is issue, then they need to write or modify their business requirement document.
Yeah.
Yep. So and then block is same. So lot of status we have, and then you will be familiar more when you are working on. Because I'm not saying like they will follow all, but why I'm putting randomly, just give you the heads up, get the familiar with that types of status. When you see, oh, what is this, then you understand. Then maybe if they use something else, it is fine also, but mostly this is common in standard. Okay, any question? Okay, so always remember, defect is important for all, and then mostly my personal experience is they are going through with the defect report. How many test cases you have? They don't follow that much, but mostly as much as test cases you wrote, that is better for all, and that is the more coverage you have. And then always remember, I told you, start writing, and then don't think about the first day you go to the office and then you start writing, and then they will find out you are new. You are refresher. Otherwise, if you are not review with the experienced guy, and then you will feel problem. You will get problem, and then they will find out, oh, actually you don't have that experience because of we know, right?
What is the severity? 1 high, 2 medium, 3 low.
Oh, this is the number. Suppose like who are using this.
What is the points? 1 high. 2.
One mostly is, I would say this is one using for high, 2 for medium, 3 for low. This is the number. Okay. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 list we have. That's all, nothing else. Sometimes they use 5 cosmetic, and then low, very low, medium, high, medium. They use very high, high. They use a lot of status also. Okay. I'm not saying it is standard, but I'm saying they're using very high, and then high, very high, medium, and medium high. So a lot of status, low and cosmetics. Okay. So, but here the 3 statuses. Huh? What? Yeah, it's rating. Yeah, it's rating. Rating means yeah, just number 1, 2, 3. That's it. They wanted to like that. If company follow like that, if company follow only the name, it's fine too. High only, no 1 high. Medium only, no 2 medium. 3 low, not like that. Okay.
So this is the JIRA tool which they are using, right? JIRA issue.
JIRA. This is company. They use JIRA. They use JIRA ticket here. Okay. What is the defect? Defect for the JIRA.
This is a tool, right? Basically, JIRA is a tool.
JIRA is a tool. Correct.
So whatever tool they are using, we will put that one.
This is the number. This is the JIRA ticket number. Suppose like if they use ALM, maybe ALM number is there. So okay, maybe it's starting with D or it's starting with DEF, then DEF number is there. Okay. You put it there. So why they are using it? Because of according to that Excel, we have actual defect for the tracking purpose. Something like that. Tracking means they log in the JIRA ticket. JIRA you already knows, right? All team members are there, and then we. So why they're using it? Because suppose you are updating something. Okay, I find you put the attachment, and then suppose the developer 1, Anil, he's the developer 1. He assigned to that defect. You put that update any comments, and then developer automatically will get the email when you anything update. When you put the comments, and he will update. And then if he update it, suppose okay, deploy it, ready for retest, issue fixed. He put the comments, and then how you know? You need to open an Excel sheet? No. You need to always follow the mail channel? No. Sorry, defect list. It is not possible to track it every time, every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes. So that's why they using this number. Yeah, when they create. Go to the defect and then check it, right? Yes. So when you update that defect, automatically you will notify by email. And then you get the email, and then they will say, email will say, okay, hey, this is the message, you got it. That message when you read, and then you go to that direct issue. Or maybe your developer request you assign to or attach to more attachment. More attachment like a screenshot, more screenshot. You put the screenshot 1 maybe on the all the way last page, but he wanted to know how you start. And then which data you use, maybe it's data related. So maybe he might request you put more screenshot. So and then how you know? On an Excel sheet, if you put, even though he put it like 10 o'clock, and then you open it Excel sheet 3 o'clock, and then you got notice. It's not possible to track it. So that's why they use the defect management tool to interact with each other. That is the main purpose. Okay. So
what is app owner?
What?
App owner.
Oh, that is you don't. That is optional. App owner or verification in view station, you don't need to worry about. App owner means application. Application. We have a multiple application. We work on multiple applications, but they as a project wise in one project has multiple applications. So which defect is according to the which application they want to track it, but it is according to this. You don't need to worry about these two. These two you don't need to. We can this delete as well. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. And that's all. And anything what I had in mind. So, and another class will take the networking, but definitely not today. Yeah, that is also important. There is some common HTTP code you will get when you're working on. You will need to get familiar HTTP code, because HTTP response code you already knows, right? HTTP response code is 200 is for pass. Suppose you are requesting. Suppose what is happen is you log in, right? You enter username and password. You click submit button or login button, and then home page is came. So home page when you see, that's mean you successful. You log in. Yes. That's mean from server side they don't have any error. Your login was successful. So then server is responding to you 200 number. 200 is response code. That is HTTP. HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. It is communicating with the browser, right? When we enter any URL on our browser and then we hit, what it does? They request to the server, and then server got the request. Okay, what they wanted to do. How much time will it take? Not only the time, even the time and plus the content. Everything, the home page, whatever. Suppose you log in Gmail, and then Gmail main inbox is there, right? Compose page will be there, and then first 50 or latest 50 or latest 100, it depends on the page settings, or 25 depends on the page settings, it will show, right? And then you will get it. So that time, if it is perfect, then 200 response you will get, but you will not, it will not show you. But if you go to the details, always what you will do, suppose here you put it there, and then from your keyboard F12, from your keyboard F12, when you press F12 function key, sorry, and then what will happen? You will get it. This who are working on automation, they already knows how to find out the elements. This is the HTML code. So that HTML code where they respond as a 200 or 500 or 501. Lot of things. Don't get panic, because this is this is the.
Do we need to know all this?
Did you see here something is failed to load, right? Error block by client. Sometimes it will show here. This is the defect number. Suppose 401. When you see 401, that means unauthorized error. Suppose you want to access some functionality for admin functionality, but username you put it regular. He was not an admin user. That time you will get 401 error. Even though valid user, but is invalid user because of it is not as an admin user. It is a regular user. So regular user could have admin accessibility, right? Admin access they could have. So that time when you go to that page, you will get here. You see the red one. The red one you will show 401. When you see the 401,
write all the script.
No, you don't need to. It will automatically. It will automatically. Right? Yes, yeah. It will show you when under the console. You press F12 button. Suppose you get some error message. You get some error message. You don't know what is the reason. Because and then that time you press F12 and then go to the console tab. When you go to the console tab, it will show you the exact number. What is the F12 from your keyboard? And then it will show you 401. That's mean unauthorized. And then 403 is forbidden. Forbidden. Access issue. Suppose you are running some application, you are not authorized to access some functionality. You are not authorized. Suppose for banking purpose, there is a managerial rule is there. and then they have some functionality. Suppose they can put if we have a more than 5,000 transaction, he need to approve, otherwise it will no go through.
Yes.
Right. You can finish transaction, and then in that time, if you want to finish it, and then for one, because the user you are using, it is not an admin user.
Okay.
It is a regular user. Regular user, definitely they will get. So maybe 401 is expected.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
401 is expected that time, right? So that you can put it. Hello guys, just give me 1 second. My another laptop power was gone, so I need to know. Actually, I need to get the. I think now it's 1 o'clock, so we can make it tomorrow the next class. So one thing, where is Asad bhai? বলো তো একটু ইয়া করতে আমাকে অর্গানাইজার বানাইতে আমার ছিল কিন্তু সামহাউ ওইটা ই হয়ে গেছে. Yeah, I will send you the. That's why I separately create a folder for you guys, because I can track it. Otherwise, I will forget to. Oh, really? So okay. I hope like. Yep. Definitely, you need to. If you have a time, go to the previous classes. Get the link from Asad bhai. Definitely he will provide you the 3-4 lab class at least, because my concern is to make you comfortable with the manual, because when you go to the office, it is not like very rare, it is 100% automation. Even though mostly in the interview question they also ask like how many percentage you work manual and automation. If it's like 100%, is very rare. Mostly they do 40 to 50 to 60%, maximum 60%. So other percent you need to do the manual. You need to involve with the manual test cases, running, creating. This is our responsible. So you need to be very familiar, because you are going for the 5 to 6 years experience. If you are not familiar or you are not comfortable to write down the test cases even, then আমাকে সিভিও বানাবেন. ওর ল্যাপটপে আমার লগইন ছিল কিন্তু পাওয়া গেছে না, আমি খেয়াল করিনি, কথা বলতে বলতে ওইটাই গেছে. So showing to me another Russell Islam is there. I logged in, so I'm here. Yeah, so just maybe another name you can use it. Russell Islam, same, or Russell Islam. Here is showing Russell Islam. So that's why like always be familiar and then be confident with that manual process, and then we can go further. Otherwise, if you are not familiar here, then even though automation you could not manage, and then they will do lot of places they hire only for saying automation, but when they do the work, mostly 90% or 80% manual, because the automation has a lot of issues, environment issue, or so they're using source lab, for automation script running third-party defined environment, but they have some issues, so they rely on the because that's the main thing. And then after that, definitely you going through, but manual, those is like a very basic. If they find out you have a problem with that, they will determine you don't have experience 5 to 6 years, and then other will be ruined. So always practice, and then yeah, it's needed practice. It's needed practice, definitely. Let's get it started. So here, this is the lab 4 we are good. We did. So business requirement document we talk about, right? So let's start with the response code. So always need to be you need to be work with your response code. You need to understand what is going on or what it does. Sometimes did you see the 404? When you see 404, that means URL is missing. Some link is broken. Yes, you need to memorize. That is yes, you need to memorize. This is very basic. 500 is server side error. If there is a something, a server is down. Okay, you go to the URL, you enter the URL, and then you find out you got a 500 error. That time you can put the screenshot and then put the whole team. Hey, our environment is down. That you can say, because on the your experienced person, you already knows 500 server error. We got it when server is down, that QA server. And 503 is you will get very less, but you need to also know it is the server related to, but mostly it is related to the low performance issue. Suppose like I did the performance testing as well in my company, and then I use it for 100 user, concurrent user, and then when I use it 100 user, and then it was okay, and then when I use 200 user, and it started for 503 error. It started 503 error, and then what does mean? Server is too busy. It is not responsive. It got crash. That means memory is overflow, or the or maybe what is called CPU ran 100%, memory got full, almost more than 90%, and then it got crashed. Because what happened is, you already know performance testing. Performance testing, like if I have on the table, if I have 6 people, and then at a time I can serve 6 people. If I invite 30 people, what I need 5 times to serve, to see serving all people. If I have a 15 chairs, or then I need to 2 times, right? So depends on your criteria, your business. It is called SLA, service layer agreement. How much they want. Previously you already knows, right? Black Friday, what happened is, like when they are login the Macy's or Best Buy, and it got crash or 503 error, because when you enter bestbuy.com, they got 503 error. That means server is crashed. That means server can serve that much people. Maybe they are able to serve 10,000 people, but at a time, same time, it came 11,000 or 12,000, and then that time it could not able to handle. That is 503 error. So 503 normally you will not get on QA, but maybe in production, or maybe on QA, maybe they are do performance testing, maybe some your automation team, they are doing for load test with the what is called Selenium. Automation, you need to one language. It could be JavaScript, it could be Java, it could be Python, it could be C#, it could be anything, but you need one language to write the code. That is the one thing. Suppose like automation is like any language. If you know, you have a driving license. If you have a driving license, you can drive SUV, sedan, or pickup van, or even truck, right? But maybe feature is here and there, or minivan. One language you need to know, at least one. Java, there are a lot of people, they start with the Java,
not easy, I would say it is intermediate level, but at least for the testing purpose, you don't need to be developer level. You need to be proficiency with basic. If you know the basic, if you know how to loop, how to put the condition, that is good enough. You don't need to be a developer. Developer need more details than tester. Mostly, if you know the basic logic, you can write down any test cases to automate. And also a lot of people they do QTP supporting VB script. They are only learn the VB script, and they are using their function with that command. So anyhow, this is the 500 already knows individual server, and then 503 server side. That means it could be suppose like we have a 10 server, and then they load fully do the load test, and then you enter the URL manually, and then you got the 503 error. That means that means 10 server is 100% busy, and then it got crash. So 404, that link is broken. Suppose when I click the Pizza Hut, there is a lot of pages is there, right? Suppose here in the what is Prime has a lot of links. Don't go, it is crazy. Advanced level, lot of link is there. So I just go through the Pizza Hut, and on the bottom you will see lot of link is there on the bottom all the way. This is company rules, right? So this is a privacy policy, terms on use, tracking tag, right? Is there, and then here you see menu is there. All links are there. You need to, as a responsive as a tester, you need to check all, right? When you yes, and then when you click FAQ page, and then FAQ page is not showing 404 error. That means somehow server side they already knows, who are developer, they already knows. Maybe some folder location got changed. Page is there, some location maybe he put extra folder or a subfolder he created and then put that file, he move it, and then at that time they could not find out the location. So what happened is, suppose on your building you move to second floor to third floor, your stuff is there, but you move second floor to third floor, and then old address is second floor, you put it, and then you knock it, hey Mr. Russell is there, or no, not there, but go to the third floor, but when you knock you will get it 404. That means somehow it's got changed or removed. 404 error. That's where is yes the right. Anyone has a question about that? But I have to read interview question. Ready? Okay. I have to be ready for the interview question. Oh. Okay. Nothing is clear. I feel I'm lost. Actually, empty yet.
Russell?
Who is Moyori?
I'm sorry, these messages not for you. I am chatting with my friend who's in the class.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah. No problem. I got also. I'm getting lost too.
yeah. Sorry.
So I getting lost too. What is the conversation going on? What I teach you. I wanted to make you more clear, not lost. Okay. If you even though getting lost, let me know if you need more example. Because I'm trying to bottom of my heart, like the way I'm feeling like, okay, that example may be good for you. If you feel like, oh, okay, you are not clear, don't stop. Just speak up, and then heads up, and then ask your question. Don't hesitate. We'll give you more example.
Okay.
So those the main thing you need to walk through, and then last time also we go through for the test cases, right? Let's start with some example. I would say let's see how people are thinking. one by one. So let's a couple of minutes we can practice. I had a plan to actually write down the next day. Everybody, you need to participate to write down the test cases. I will give you some scenarios, and then you will send me the Excel sheet from by email. You will write down, prepare your Excel sheet, and then we have the template. Write down, and then I want to check with you guys like what is the status. So again, if you have a drop down list, what is the checkpoint you have? We need to check. If you have anything, if you have a drop down list, suppose you have a drop down list here, right? So suppose I said to you, hey hey team, could you please test economy coach or prefer class functionality drop down? Then you need to write down the test cases, right? Before test or you start testing undocumented. But think about you are write down the test cases. What is the main thing you need to do?
Click the drop down icon and
not icon, it is not an icon. I would say click the drop down list is better way. Say is appear or not. Appear means all are displayed, all list, right? So okay, then one test, then anything else. That's good point. List of options. That is important.
I need to ask what type of list that will be in the drop down.
Definitely, you have your business requirement document is there, and then they will mention it how many list, how many option or list or item is there. It should be as a listed. So at that time when you get it, you got it. So suppose here is 4 item is there, all are here, and then when we click, it's already pop up, and then anything else. Two test case we find out. So one test case is verify. When user click the list, it should pop up, and then verify all items are listed displaying. There's the 2 test case you write down, and then anything else, or it is done. No, make sure you are working properly means this 2 is working fine. Suppose I click it and then it is pop up, and then it is selectable or not. That is the third one. Yes, that is the third one is individual. Each and every item is selectable or not. Suppose I'm clicking economy coach, and then it is showing here or not. So by clicking, right? So then you can write down what is the test cases. You can write down by clicking, right? And then you can also another test case you can write down by keyboard. You can change, you are able to change or not by keyboard. Suppose I'm entering keyboard, right? You see the changes, right? I'm pressing up and down from my keyboard. You are seeing, right? Mouse pointer is where? Mouse pointer is here. I'm pressing, so it is selectable by keyboard, right? So 4th one you can write down, is that selectable by keyboard or not? Correct? Anything else? This 4 we got 4, right? By clickable by mouse, clickable by keyboard, or changeable by keyboard, and then what else? Anything? Anyone? You can speak up if you have on your mind. Font size, right? Font size. Fonts. You know the font size? What is font? Anybody doesn't know the font? Letter is font. How many? How much? Suppose like here, this is the one size, right? And then this is the another size. This is more smaller than this, correct? And then that one is more bigger. This is one size, right? And then they have a camel case. First one is what? Is a init cap. Init cap means first one only. Exactly. So it is the font size. It is font size you need to check. Background and foreground. Did you see when we move it that font is become white, even though it is blue? Non-selectable is blue, right? This is select and non-selectable. That is UI, but also you need to check also. That is how it is, because there's a lot of outside. A lot of people are have a problem with the eyes, with the maybe too much smaller, or font is not very good, or maybe font size is very small. Correct? It could be. So you need to check also the font size. Anything else? Font size or color. Yes. So the size of each individual list. Suppose here we can see, suppose here is a premium economy. Maybe you might have some big list. There is a big sentence that is not displaying properly or got cut off. Okay, and then between, is there any space is there or not? Maybe you might have, I saw it personally, suppose I had a 25 items, and then in the middle after 13 position 14 I have a empty space. So what will happen? Automation will fail. It could be, suppose you are counting all the list, okay, 25, but when you do automation and then it is counting 26, and then it failed because expectation is 25 list and then actual is 26, because your empty field is there, empty list is there, the space is there, empty space. By default, default values. Yes, another one. Find out the default values. What is the default value? Suppose think about on the top. On the top, children is 0. Room always default is 1, right? Even though they don't have 1. Sorry, they don't have 0, because it's unnecessary. Because you are booking definitely for some. So and then maximum you can book 3. You can not book 4. This is the business rules. So 3 is there. And then here you have 0 to 6. You could have number, any number. If you go by here, people here, right? And then you enter it here, and then did you see their functionality is defined? This is not room. Suppose like this is for hotel, not for hotel. This is for flight. And then what is the default value? Adult, right? Adult is 0 is there too, but it is selectable. You can select, but by default value was what? 1. So you need to check what is the default value. Expectation is 1. And then what is the senior, youth, children, infant 2, both are zeros. And then maximum values is what? 0 to 9, right? 0 to 9. But orbit has defined. Orbit has 0 to 6. So did you see the same types of business, but their business rules, their functionality is defined. Their list is defined based on the requirement, based on the design. So based on the design, when you write down, oh, okay, this is the adult. Oh, okay, we do have 10 list is there, 0 to 9, and then default should be 1, right? This is for the number. But sometimes, did you see here? It could have what? If I write down, then all are listing based on listing showing based on the search area. It is showing here this. If I remove this, and then it is coming how much? It is coming with how many listed? 1, 2, 3, at least 10, 15. So we need to know like what is this is nearby, and then there are nearby this, and then matching exactly how many cities is there, right? All city list should be there. If I put it Queen City, it will not come, right? Because they don't have anything. So searching criteria also need to be addressed. Yes. So by default is coach, and then which one? Oh, okay. It's not the first, second, and premium economy. This is by default class is going to be coach. And so from here, by default is first business class or economy class. Right? They have a different list. So those way you need to find out based on how many 4, 5 points you find, and write down the test cases based on that. Then you will find you will understand. Yes. So and then you are putting business area, and then click the search functionality, and then find out that okay, there is a some. Did you see there is a 4 required field is missing? It got without we enter we did it. So this one is required. This one is not required.
Yeah. With red mark, right? Required fields.
Yep. And then the what about the checkbox? How you find out the checkbox? It is checkable on or uncheckable or not. And then even though it is checkable, yes, that is all everything, each and everything. Even though the level also, the advanced option is there, right? when you click advanced option, and then they have a this preference. By default it's not came. So when you click, it goes away, right? And then when you click, it's come. So that means this functionality will hide this drop down box. This is the option. So this is the link. That link is working or not, how you know? Then you click or clickable or not, that you find out. So you write down the test cases for that too. So every
whether it is showing up or not.
Yes, every single things you need to write down the test cases.
I need to download it.
Yeah, just make it feel like a comfortable. Make a team. Make a team. 2-3 people come together and then send to me, hey, Russell, bhai, we work this. Could you please review? Then we can go through. We can check any application. Start with. I'm not saying I will try to make it minimize error for the writing format. Test cases depends on upon you. Even though I have some test cases 5 years old test cases, and doesn't make any sense to me, and then I could not even reproduce. And then what will happen? Think about that. Somebody got paid too. Maybe they might have the template. It could be, but definitely they don't have test cases, because they're hiring you for the application for testing. You need to write down the test cases. So you don't need. Maybe you can write down the test cases on ALM, not even Excel sheet. But why I am giving you the Excel sheet? Why I'm giving you? Because all columns you are getting familiar. You are addressed which columns is what it does. And then you are getting familiar, and then whatever the application UI you use, you can use it. It will be a matter of time. You just follow that all required fields, write down the test cases. But if at least if you have, then definitely, yeah. That's why this job is not like a you come here training, or you getting some videos and then you get a job. Because the main thing is how good you are. It is depends on how analyzed you are, how good think you are. Analyzer is main. So that's why they're saying QA analyst. Why they're saying QA analyst? Main thing is how you write. You are understanding that application or not. What is the defect? What is not? What is the test cases? What need to be tested? What not need to be tested? Those you are familiar or not. Then that's why they're paying. It is not like you are seeing here a couple of videos and then you are ready, you go to the job, and you will implement. They are writing manual tests, not blindly. No, not like it. You need to understand first application. Okay, guys.
So you need to go to the VR and then
yes, exactly.
Like what is their requirement and what we have to do.
Yeah, that for sure. That for 100%. You need to check it.
So we need to understand that for writing the
yes.
requirement. What is the requirement?
This is the first. Always when you go to the office, they will give you the KT for knowledge transfer. Yeah. And then after knowledge transfer, you will get the information, and maybe they will share with you different links or a business requirement document. And then after that, you'll get it. Okay. So the one guy, he also wrote down these test cases last time. I also forward to you guys, and then I finish it only with you email address. Yeah. So email address. Email address. When I write down email address, we had 4 or 5 test cases for only the email address. So I remove it other. Write down the for password field. Write down the other field, because why I'm giving you this example. If you are familiar, then done. Because web application is nothing but all are those fields. It's fine. So we will follow this. We'll share with you guys. So this is the last time I gave you last Sunday. We talk about, but we could not able to make a time to go through again. But definitely you can get the reference and then finish with. Stick with one application. Different functionality, drop down, checkbox, radio button, highlight, and then all those things. Yeah, and then after that is matter of times. You can write down anything. Yeah. So guys, I'll give you the other this business requirement document. Those documents I'll share with you after that, and then how you execute. Follow the steps. Suppose like if we execution will be different. Suppose when you write down the test cases, that time expected result you are not writing. Expected result you will write, but not actual result or status. Pass or fail you will put it after run, and then put the status actual result done. Yep. And then that time your defect will raise. Not before, right? When you write down the test cases, that time defect is going to be empty. So and then it will be one by one. You need to be follow those. So I gave you the example too.
On the main.
Yeah. So for all, yeah. We already did 4 labs, so lot of examples, a lot of details we talk about, because we cannot stick with only this. We need to move forward to other. So you need to follow and then start work with. Otherwise, you will be lost. Okay, guys. So this for today now. See you next week. Thanks for all joining the class. See you on Sunday. Just speak up or come with the question when you study, and then come with the question, and then when it comes to session, question and answer session, then we can answer your question. It is not like you saw it, like when they are asking question, they are putting an example. It is not like I'm not don't want to see your history. Just put your question properly.